Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome. As always, I'm your host. I'm Bryant. Let's get down to it. You guys follow me? You guys do that stuff? You know, Instagram and TikTok and Twitter, and X. You guys do that stuff? If not, do it for me, please. Show me love. It's real easy. At I'm Will Bryant. 3 words. I'm Will Bryant. Bryant. Like Kobe. Now, God, I don't know if it's the weather or what, but I've been getting a stuffy nose at home often. Riveting stuff to start off the episode. I know, bear with me. But you're going to hear some sniffing like I'm a cokehead. Talking about cocaine within the first minute of the show. Already demonetized. Oh, well. Joke's on you. I ain't never made no money doing this. So, yeah. Anyways, right before the show, I was like, you know what? I don't want to be out of breath while I record. So I pumped, little 2 pumps of the asthma pump because I'm a real G, and real G's breathe, as deeply as possible. The other thing I did, though, was I used some another 2 pumps of nasal spray. Thing is, when I used the nasal spray, I looked around to see if my girl was nearby, and then I hid in the corner as I did it just in case she was, because she's very passionate about nasal spray addiction awareness. That's her thing. That's her passion. So for some people, it's, world peace. For others, it's ending hunger. My girl wants to raise awareness about nasal spray addiction because the first time that I ever bought nasal spray while we were together, I was sick. I couldn't breathe. It was a pain in the ass. You know how annoying it is trying to sleep when you can't breathe through your nose? It's terrible, right? So I use it to go to sleep, and she's like, okay, use it only when you need it, but be careful because you can get addicted to that. And I remember just being like, what the... All right. Like, this is a girl that has seen me smoke weed every day that we've ever been together. This is a girl that has seen me drink so much that I forget how I got home or how I worked my shift. There's a girl that's seen me K-hole. There's a girl that's seen me, if you know what K-hole is, this is like ketamine, all right? She's seen me be put to sleep by a horse tranquilizer and been like, he'll be all right. She's seen me throw up hungover into my cat's litter box because I didn't want to keep going back and forth to the bathroom all morning long. She's seen me basically do a lot of drugs and and drink a lot of alcohol. Never been like, you know what? Think you should take it easy there. This new not drinking thing that I'm doing, by the way, cup of coffee here. I did that on my own. I chose to do that. She never was like, I think it's time for you to quit. Even when I got fired for being drunk, she was never like, Will, I think it's time that you stop the drinking. No. One nasal spray up my nose, and she's like, you need to, this is a slippery slope, Will. Need to be careful. I seen some shit. the mean streets of Siberia, and even here in America, nasal spray, it's an ugly addiction. Turns out, she's a recovering nasal spray addict. I would have never known. Never know who might be sleeping right next to you. And I've seen her use that like maybe once in our relationship. She's like, Like a recovering addict that won't do pain medication after surgery. They just take it. She'll just walk around all fucking stuffy nosed and shit. Like, I ain't going back that road. I don't know why in this scenario I make my girlfriend like an old man that's seen some stuff from like the South. I ain't going down that road no more. I seen some things and I can't do it. Won't catch me with no spray up my nostrils. No, sir. So the other day, she saw me using it. She's like, when did you buy new nasal spray? And I'm like, Jesus. Like, just recently, I needed it. I got sick. You would have thought she found my heroin kit, that I was just, getting a little fix. She's afraid of that nasal spray. So yeah, so to prepare for this show, I needed to breathe. I needed to be able to communicate. So I hid in a corner and I sprayed up. I sprayed up. That's what I'm gonna call it. I sprayed up. Hear that? I could breathe, but I had to do it in secret. I have to keep my addiction a secret. See, it doesn't matter that I just stopped drinking. No. She'll see this and be like, I'm so disappointed in you. How could you? What good is sobriety if I'm just spraying up like a delinquent? So I did it in secret. And she will never know until she listens to this. And then she'll text me and be like, what? It's, whatever. It's my deep, dark secret. For those of you watching, by the way, no segue, no transition. Just fucking hold on and let's go for a ride. For those of you guys watching, you'll notice my shirt. And if you didn't notice my shirt, fucking look at my shirt and notice it. The hell is wrong with you? Now, at a quick glance, someone might think I'm wearing a Dodgers shirt. I'm not. Well, I mean, I am, but bear with me. I did not wear this shirt for like the entire playoffs because I didn't want anybody thinking that I was rooting for the Dodgers. This is a Brooklyn Dodgers t-shirt that was a giveaway at Citi Field because the Mets suck so bad that we represent and advertise the Dodgers at Citi Field. When you walk into Citi Field, the first thing you see is a giant red 42 right in the middle of the rotunda in honor of Jackie Robinson and his number, which is, by the way, the only number that is retired league-wide for every single team. No person will ever wear the number 42 ever again in baseball. The last person to ever wear 42 was Mariano Rivera. He was the last 42 because he had the number when the number was retired league-wide. So he was allowed to wear it. However, no one else that entered the league was allowed to choose 42. Thus, when Mariano retired, he became the final player ever to don this historic number. Anyways, I digress. And that was Fun Fact with Will Bryant. When you walk into Citi Field, we have a giant freaking 42 right in the middle. He was never a Met. The Mets are so bad. They're like, whatever. Put a statue of Jackie Robinson, man. And you know, next to it, Elvis. He's not even from New York. Doesn't matter. Whatever. I'm kidding. There's no Elvis at Citi Field, but I guess the Mets took it upon themselves to represent Brooklyn Dodger lore. They definitely like cheeky move, Mets. Cheeky move. They're like, all right, we've got like 3 things to brag about, but we'll just claim Jackie Robinson. So here. You don't see the Yankees giving homage or paying homage to the New York Giants, and I don't mean the football team. Well, I use that term loosely, football team, because I don't know what the hell they're doing this season. Because the Jets are so much better. So anyways, the Yankees aren't paying homage to the New York baseball Giants, because that's where they used to play. You want another fun fact with Will Bryant? The reason that the Mets team colors are blue and orange is that they adopted the blue. Excuse me as I hit. Yeah. Am I done? I don't think so. All right. That's... At this point, my body's just taunting me with these sneezes. I've been told that I sneeze like a bitch. I think I've said this on the show anyways. It's because I try to like keep my sneezes like at a minimum. Like watch, if I'm behind the bar, that was a sneeze. If you didn't hear that, watch it on video. I barely. Uh-oh. All right, all sneezes. God, this is great content. Kids, these are the consequences of nasal spray addiction. All right, so learn a lesson from me. Don't be like me. Be better than me. Oh man. Excuse me. By the way, you think I'm cutting this? You think I put forth a polished product? What, are you kidding me? I was going to lean out of the shot to blow my nose. You know what? Yeah. How's that for professionalism? Also, how am I the quietest sneezer but the loudest nose blower? So much to so many things to touch upon there. Sneeze. So you guys see? Do I sneeze like a bitch? And were those bitch sneezes? See, the thing is, I don't want to be a loud sneezer. You know, everyone has that uncle that sneezes really loud, and it's like they want the attention. I don't. That's not me. I mean, I want the attention, but not for a sneeze. I'd much rather it be for a cat video going viral. So I try not to be the loud sneezer. The other thing is, though, if I'm working behind the bar, you don't want to see your bartender. All right, so what do you want? Margarita coming right up. No, man. So that's why I'm like. And inevitably, every time people are like, was that a sneeze? You bitch. Aw, I didn't know you were a little bitch. Those sneezes are adorable, you little bitch. So yeah. I remember what I was about to say. Fun fact. Should be a skill how I remember this shit. The Mets wear blue and orange. I'm back to that conversation. Because they took blue from the Brooklyn Dodgers and orange from the New York baseball Giants. And then the Giants moved to San Francisco. The Brooklyn Dodgers moved to Los Angeles. The Mets said, we can come and take the place of being the second best team in New York. Took a color from each team, and here we are. And we suck so bad that we, for some reason, adopted Brooklyn Dodger history as our own. Not San Francisco Giant history. I don't know why, but we should just start calling Willie Mays one of ours, too. I finished my coffee, and I'm like, I want more. I don't think I have more. I don't think I brewed more. Did I brew more? I don't know. I'll check. You guys just sat through a sneeze attack. Why not sit through a coffee break, too? Oh, hell yeah. I did have coffee. Should I cut that out? We'll see. Whatever. You guys aren't listening anyways. Ha! So. Oh yeah, I brought all this up just because I wore this shirt. And I said how I wasn't wearing this shirt during the playoffs. I'm a Met fan. But I'm not a Yankee hater. All right? Let me repeat that. I'm a Met fan, but I'm not a Yankee hater. I wasn't rooting for the Yankees to lose in the playoffs. I wanted them to win, even in the World Series. I mean, if it was Mets and Yankees in the World Series, obviously I'm going for the Mets. But, yeah, I wasn't rooting for them to lose. I get the Yankee fans that wanted us to lose no matter what, and I get the Met fans that were vice versa and wanted Yankees to lose no matter what. But that ain't me. I was about to say, I'm not that petty. I am just about other things, I guess. Plus, my dad's a Yankee fan. You know, so if he sees them win, then so be it. He can be happy. He didn't see them win. But yeah, I didn't want to wear this shirt and have people be like, oh, why are you supporting the Dodgers? I'm not. I'll wear it now, though, since the World Series is over. And, I'm not the type of Met fan that's going to find joy in the Yankees losing, Like, you will never catch me mentioning that the Yankees lost to the Dodgers that the Yankees lost to the Dodgers in 5 games while it took 6 games for the Dodgers to beat the Mets. I'll never mention that. That would be petty. Like, I'm not going to sit here wearing a Brooklyn Dodgers t-shirt, which apparently is Mets history, while, talking about the fact that the Mets played better against the Dodgers than the Yankees did, That's petty. I wouldn't bring up the fact that you can argue that the Mets had a better season than the Yankees because the Mets were supposed to be in a rebuilding year and the Yankees were supposed to be, a championship team. And somehow the Mets and the Yankees almost ended up in the same exact place. I'm not going to mention that. That's petty. Like I'm above that. And since the Dodgers history is apparently Mets history, then in some way the Mets did our lineage did win the championship this year, you know. So, um, I would never say that though. That would be stupid. No, that would be petty, and I'm above that. So that's why we're here. When they go low, I go high. I go ha 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 ha. I feel like a lot's happened since we last talked. Last episode was pretty much all about how I was preparing for my first ticketed gig, my first comedy show, like a legit one, you know, not a friends and family graduation event, you know, and not just an open mic. That was when was that? That was God, I was about to say Halloween, but that Halloween was just this past Thursday. This was a week, the Friday before that. I forgot what the date was or whatever. 25th, 24th, whatever. This was recently at the Fear City Comedy Show, or Comedy Club, I should say. The Fear City Comedy Club. It is the Fear City Comedy Club, by the way. I thought it... Well, let's see. Before I even get to the show... I talked last episode about how I was preparing by hitting up all these open mics and whatnot, and describing that process. Well, the day of the show, I had work in the morning. I had to open up the Tree Cafe. So I actually stayed in the city until my show time. I got off of work a little bit after 5. My show wasn't until about 8. And, you know, normally I would have found some bar and just had some drinks and waited. And that's exactly what I did, except at the bar, I had non-alcoholic Budweiser, or Budweiser Zero, as they call it. I walked from work to the comedy club, which was about, I don't know, like a 30-minute walk, something like that. Not bad, but I had nothing but time to kill. And on the walk there, man, I just started feeling a lot of anxiety. I had anxiety all week. All week I had anxiety. I mean, in general, I am a person that struggles a lot with anxiety. So it sucks that I'm pursuing something that only ramps that anxiety up. And I felt it a lot the entire week leading up to the show. And then the hours right up to the show, a lot of anxiety. I remember getting to the show. I was at the bar for an hour or two, and I drank the beers, the non-alcoholic beers, the NA beers, as if they were like alcoholic beers, because I just kept ordering one after the other. I guess, you know, a lot of people say that that's part of the oral fixation. You know, a lot of people that quit cigarettes, they need something to occupy that motion of pulling a cigarette to your mouth and taking a hit or whatever. And I think it's the same with drinking. I can't do it with, I can't do it with like it's not the same if I had a cup of water or whatever, you know. It has to, the fact that it feels and tastes like beer definitely helps. So I was drinking, I don't know, probably 4 of those. Just going over my set, getting ready, trying to like time it, trying to remember jokes or whatever, the correct order. A lot of anxiety though, to the point where like when I got to the venue, the first couple of comics went up, the host went up, and like I couldn't even laugh. I was so, well, honestly, like I don't know, I can't. To me, I feel like there's a difference between nervous and anxious. Is feeling anxiety before a show the same as like are those the nerves? Because it's weird. Like I was pretty confident that I was going to be all right. I feel like nervous is a fear of fucking it up, a fear of failure. Whereas anxiety is just like this weird overanalyzation of a situation that doesn't let your mind rest. And I don't know if anxiety is so much, maybe this is all in my head, but I don't know if anxiety is so much fear based as being nervous is. I'm not sure. Because if somebody were to ask me like, "Oh, were you nervous before the show?" I would say no, and I feel like I would pass a lie detector test. But 100% I felt anxiety, and I don't know, maybe it's one and the same. And I just am so stupid, I don't really know how to define nervous properly. Anyway, the owner of the Fear City Comedy Club, this dude Jonesy, he actually was the first person up on stage for like an impromptu opening set, essentially. Because I remember the host of the show, Lee Paul. Shout out to Lee Paul, awesome dude. He like gave me a rundown of everything a couple of minutes before the show, like, oh, you know, so and so, like Sam's gonna go first and introduce us, and then I'm gonna go up, and then, you know, so and so, whatever. And then the moment the show started, that's not what happened. And the owner went up and just took the mic and did a set himself. And I mean, hey, he's the owner, so what are you gonna tell him? Hey, not your turn, not yet. He had a set. He tried some stuff out, and like the reason I even bring that up is not because it threw anything off. I mean, I guess it threw me off a little bit, and only because of this. Most of his set had to do with the fact that he is a sober person living a sober life, and that he opened up this comedy club, an alcohol-free comedy club, to help essentially promote sober living. And he's, you know, kind of this intense dude, you know. He was up there and he was like, "We're all sober here, right?" And everyone was like, "Yeah." Meanwhile, I'm like, "Oh, no, I just stopped drinking like yesterday, and I smoked weed on the way to the venue," you know. So I had weed in my backpack. I smelled like weed at the venue. And I knew, as he's up there talking about, you know, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, sober this, I promote sober whatever, we're in a sober environment, everyone like aggressively asking people, "We're all sober?" "Yeah, all right." I'm sitting there knowing that I have an entire set revolving around my drug use. And more importantly, how I enjoy using drugs or doing drugs. That I'm sitting there, and so now I already have anxiety before this, right? Now I have even more anxiety because I'm like, holy shit, this owner's like really serious about sobriety, and I am going over a comedy set in my head revolving all about how I do drugs. I mean, I decided, you know what? Fuck it, man. I'm just going to go up there and do my set anyways. The only thing I did was I just reworded a little part in my intro. Whereas instead of saying I'm not sober, I said I don't think it's fair to call me a sober person because X, Y, and Z. And I just felt like I should come in a little bit less strong about not being sober, so that not only Jonesy the owner, but you know, the crowd wouldn't turn on me immediately, and they didn't. You know, they were receptive very early on. I think because a lot of people in that crowd could relate. You know, that just because they quit drinking and doing drugs doesn't mean they don't remember how fun it can be. They just also remember that it ends up being shitty. And not for all people. I'm not saying that. You know what's crazy is like, I'm trying to cut down on my drinking, not because I've had some like crazy, you know, I didn't hit rock bottom, and I didn't run over a kid backing up out of my driveway or anything like that. You know, I am quitting mostly because I kept getting anxiety the next day after drinking. And I just said I'm an anxious person. I suffer from anxiety all the time. But after a night of heavy drinking, the anxiety was even worse for me the next day than it normally was, you know? So, and, you know, besides that, the hangovers were just not fun too, you know? So yeah, for me, it was, yeah, I didn't quit because, because of some crazy shit like that. So I know that drinking can be fun. Essentially, that's my point. You know, for other people, it's like, no, every time I drink, I turn into this angry person and I get into fights and, you know, I get arrested and my family left me. And then I'm like, oh, when I drink, I get funny and you know, I'm friendlier. I hug people, you know. So obviously I had to put a stop to that. Once I started hugging people, I was like, Will, you're taking you're taking it too far. You have to go back to the way you were before you started drinking. You know? Remember when you were mean to everybody? Go back to that. That's you at your healthiest. So I'm at this show and I'm like, well, whatever. Fuck it. I'm going down with this one. If it bombs and bombs, but it didn't. Because like I said, I think that crowd related to what I was saying, you know. A lot of times, most people that say that they're sober probably are saying that because at one point they weren't, you know. So they got it. It was cool. I actually went a little bit longer than I planned to. I didn't like technically I ran the light, but I was given permission to. Before I went up there, Lee told me, hey, you know, I know we told you 5, but if you feel like doing 6, 7, or 8 or whatever, if you're feeling the crowd, just go with it, man. You know, like we're not that strict around here about that. And I, you know, that was cool because right before he introduced me, the Yankees were in the playoffs at the time. So, it was the World Series. I think that was game 1 that night. And he made a joke. He tried out one of his, like a joke about the Yankees or whatever. And in my head, I was like, oh shit, I actually have like a Mets Yankees joke in my my back pocket over here, you know? The first time I ever did a 5-minute set, I had a Mets and Yankees joke. Oh, if you're on Instagram, it's on there. But a Mets and Yankees joke that revolved around my dad. So when he did that, I told myself, if things do go well and I have time, maybe I'll end with that as opposed to what I was going to end with. So yeah, I threw in an extra joke, and when Val showed me the video of my entire set, it's about 7.5, almost 8 minutes long. So I mean, I was kind of happy to see that. I could do like a 7 or 8 now too, as well. And yeah, the set was good. They laughed. I didn't bomb. I got some good laughs at good points, and you know, I learned. It was definitely a learning experience too, because when I looked the video over, I realized after the fact, oh shit, I skipped one of my jokes, you know? So when I watch it back, I'm critical of myself. I'm like, fuck, like I feel like I didn't stick the landing perfectly because I missed like a joke in the middle. And here's the thing, what I've been told by comedians at the Cellar, like pros that have been at this for years, they're like, you'll always watch your performances back and notice the things that you know you could have done better. And sometimes it's the timing of how you say something. Sometimes it's the ordering of the words you use. Sometimes you won't even realize that you missed an entire joke or punchline. And I did. And the thing is, I know that after the fact, I noticed that, but no one in that crowd has any idea that I missed a joke. They never knew that joke existed in the first place. So I feel like, you know, comics, when they watch their own shit back, they'll always be harder on themselves than other people will, which I think it's true of anything, of any craft. So what it made me feel was like, oh shit, all right, I'm not done with that. Like, I'm looking at those 5 minutes that I performed. I'm like, all right, I did pretty good there, but I'm not done. Those 5 minutes aren't done. I can still take stuff out. I can still, obviously, I can put back the joke that I forgot to say. So there's still more, that was the first time that I came up with 5 minutes of material on my own without being guided by somebody. My first 5 minutes that I put together, basically Rick Chrome held my hand throughout the entire process. Rick is one of the best in the business in terms of crafting jokes and helping with timing and placement, and just very he looks at jokes in a very like logical way. And I when I took the class at the Cellar, essentially every minute of that I performed over and over for him, and we changed it and edited it, and he helped me out. And because I work at the Cellar and the Olive Tree Cafe, I see him way more often than he sees most of his students. So we often have conversations that revolve around my material or stuff. At least when I was working on that first 5. This recent 5 was a completely, aside from that one dad joke that I told you guys I added at the end, that was from my first set. But the entire 5 or 6 minutes that I did before that was brand new stuff that I had wrote specifically for that show. Actually, I thought it would be I thought it would resonate more to come up with essentially sober and drug related material for a sober crowd, as opposed to just doing my first 5 minutes ever, which was essentially very clean, kind of clean cut material. My first 5 minutes I wrote, I thought that my parents were going to be in the crowd when I performed it. They ended up not, because my first performance was delayed from a December to a February. And unfortunately, in those 2 months, my dad's health declined dramatically, so it was just not possible. So at my first show, I had 5 friends, as opposed to, it was supposed to be 3 friends and I think I had 6 friends, and it was supposed to be like 3 or 4 friends and then my mom and my dad. That didn't happen. It's all good. My mom doesn't even know that I do comedy, so that's the way it goes. So my first 5 minutes, I actually made it so that my mom and dad would kind of get it the most. I basically molded it specifically for my parents. So that means it wasn't crazy risque. I wasn't, I'm not talking about AI and apps and TikTok, because they don't know what the hell that is. It was I felt very basic, very almost PG, I think I was clean. I don't know if I cursed. I might have said shit or something like that, but at least PG. This 5 minutes, I did it specifically for a sober crowd. And so I was a little bit more, or less PG, I should say. I at one point I literally listed a laundry list of drugs that I like doing. So that's not very, family friendly, I would say. And so it was a brand new 5 minutes that essentially, I thought there was a lot of premises and ideas that I had written down beforehand, but I never actually sat down and wrote a joke or a set around them. It's just an idea that I had. I wrote in my notes app, and I never went back to it again. So in about the span of 2 weeks, I'd say, from the moment that I accepted or was offered the spot on the show to the day of the show, was about a week and a half to 2 weeks. And within that time span, I took those premises or those ideas for a bit in my notes app, like for a couple. Like there was just one real one that I always wanted to work on, and I wrote a 5-minute set and performed it at open mics and cut stuff out and added stuff in, honestly until the day of. And in about a week and a half, a little bit under 2 weeks, I came up with a brand new 5 minutes that did pretty well at a comedy show. And for that, it took me a little while to step away from the performance and the situation and be like, all right, that's pretty good, Will. That's not bad. Like, there are a lot of people out there that would not be able to put together a 5-minute comedic performance and have it ready in 10 days, you know? Am I patting myself on the back a little bit? Yeah, I am. And here's why. And I'm about to get a little real here. I had this really weird thing happen to me after the show. And I shouldn't say a weird thing happened. I started feeling weird. After the show, after my performance, immediately after and in the following days, I thought that I was going to be happy, that I was going to be like proud of myself, but I was not. I was not happy after the performance. And not because I thought I did poorly. The opposite of that. I thought I did well. I did better than I thought I was going to do, and I was actually content with how I did. Dare I say happy with the actual performance itself, but I did not feel happy afterwards. The first time I did my 5 minutes, I kind of rode this high for a little while. Like, wow, I did it. I can do it. I can't wait to do it again. I can't wait to work on it. You know, all that stuff. That didn't happen this time, and I don't know why. And it started messing with me emotionally, mentally, because I had this moment where it was almost existential in a way. I had this moment where I was like, I just did something that should make me happy, should make me proud, and it doesn't. And I don't have this like burning desire to go out and do it again right now, immediately. Like, if I don't do it for a while, I feel like I'd be fine. And that was heartbreaking to me because I was stuck in this thought process where I was like, well, damn, I was chasing this. I'm like doing it. I set forth a goal and I am actively achieving this goal, like, for you guys to see every step of the way. And I'm not getting this positive feeling from it. If this isn't something that I'm supposed to be doing, then what is? I mean, like, I used to be passionate about DJing, and I don't think I am anymore. And I thought I was passionate about comedy, and now I'm at a point where I just performed and I don't feel happy. What do I do now? I need something. I need the carrot in front of me, you know? I need a goal to achieve. I need something to aspire to. I need something to aspire to be better at. I need to have a desire to achieve something. And if performing on that stage didn't make me feel good, then what am I aspiring to now? What am I desiring to achieve now? I was feeling lost, and it felt, it was hitting me like hard. I even had this, like, I was going to record a podcast last Monday. And as I was typing out notes for my episode, I couldn't do it, man. I hit a wall mentally. Where every like little issue that I had suddenly felt magnified. And I mean, I'm talking about I was like in tears on Monday, and I couldn't really explain why. It was rough, man. So I took, I decided, fuck it, don't record an episode this week. Like I've said in the past couple of episodes, man, mental health before anything else. It's important. So I took a break from the podcast. That's why I didn't have an episode last week. Why? I was too busy freaking out about life and not understanding why. I don't feel that way anymore. I do feel like I want to continue comedy and improve on the 5 minutes that I just did, combine some of it with what I did before. And, I probably have 10 minutes of material right now that is it a tight 10? Is it a great 10? No, but I have it. I'm starting to feel a little bit better. And my girl actually brought up something that kind of made me, it was like that Weebay meme. Like suddenly I was like looking around like, oh, because she brought up that maybe since I quit drinking, I'm actually going through withdrawal. Perhaps these inexplicable mood swings or the irritability or the depression, the anxiety, whatever, it could be a result of alcohol withdrawal. Because I was drinking like every day. And now, I mean, up until Halloween, I think it had been, 2-3 weeks that I had gone without a drink, and that's a lot for me. And when she said that, I was like, oh, maybe, man, because like I can't really explain it. Like when I first stopped drinking, like way back 3 weeks ago or whatever, I did experience a boost in my demeanor, in my I felt better. I felt a little happier, cheerier, whatever. Stuff bothered me less. But I've seen accounts of people that stop drinking, and they're like, don't think that putting an end to your drinking will suddenly make you this happy-go-lucky person. If you were a depressed and anxious person before, there's a good chance you're going to be a depressed and an anxious person after. And damn it, guess they were right. Because I had I guess for a little while there, for like 2 weeks, I was like, holy shit, maybe now that I'm not drinking, life won't suck that much anymore. Guess what? Still does. Still does. Fucking shit. So I think maybe that was part of it too. Like I'm realizing like, God damn it, I'm working so hard to like not drink, and like I'm still hitting these mental walls. Why? Then what the fuck is the point? I should just be drunk. I shouldn't be drunk. But yeah, so I had this mental, I don't want to call it a mental breakdown, but I hit a mental wall last week for sure. And yeah, I don't know about you, but when I have a really rough day emotionally, it's not like I'm fine. Definitely not fine that night. But the next day or two, it takes me a while to crawl out of that emotionally. So that was Monday, and right, Monday or Tuesday. It's either Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, I don't know, whatever. I think it was Monday. Oh, and before I even continue with what happened with me the rest of the week, because I did go to the Jet game on Halloween and tailgated. Well, let me just talk about that real quick, since we're on the subject of sobriety, because this other thing has nothing to do with sobriety, really. I went to the Jet game with a bunch of my friends. I tailgated for like 3-4 hours with Dave. Me and him got there super early. I felt like this might be my first real test of my drinking, and I had one beer the entire day. And the only reason I had that beer is because Dave bought like a sixth of a keg, like a little, I don't know. It's a keg, but it's not a huge one. Anyways, he bought a keg for us, and I tapped it, and it was just us two, and I didn't feel pressured to have a drink, but I kind of just wanted to at least have a drink out of this keg that he bought at the tailgate while he's grilling. Like, it felt like a nice little moment, and I had it, and I actually remember feeling like, I'm not really enjoying this too much. Like, the taste of it was a little. It was a Stella, by the way. It was a keg of Stella, so it should have been fine. But yeah, I was like, I don't want to suddenly start pounding these to get drunk, and I don't think I ever drank beer and thought that in my life. So something's going on. Like, my brain is rewiring the connections that it has to beer, because when it touched it's so good when it touched your lips. When it went down my gullet, it didn't spark off those fireworks in my system like it used to, I brought a 12-pack of non-alcoholic beers with me to the tailgate. And I had one the night before, and I drank 10 throughout the day there, and I had one left that I drank like a day or two later at home. I pounded 10 non-alcoholic beers throughout the tailgate, before and after, and I even went to my our friend's house to hang out after the game, and I drank 3 more non-alcoholic beers there, and bounced at like 3 a.m. I spent the whole day with my friends, and I had one beer. That's unheard of. And yeah, my friends were supportive of it. They kept forgetting and offering me like shots and beers and whatever. And the more drunk they got, the more they forgot that I was sober and would keep offering me shit. So yeah, that didn't piss me off at all. It was just like this has. We have another friend that doesn't drink, and like no one ever offers her shots. Oh, fucking. What did I call her? Prada? Fendi? I forgot Gucci's code name, but whatever. Her. I need a code name for her code name. Anyways, B Squad, the bitch that put me on the B Squad, she doesn't drink either. But she's never drank, so no one's ever like offering her beers or shots or whatever. With me, it's new. They're like, oh, this is weird. In fact, on the way there, 2 of my friends made a friendly bet with each other as to whether or not we as a group would be able to finish the keg. And my friend Teddy bet that we would finish the bet. And once they arrived at the tailgate, and they all started noticing that the can of beer in my hand is a non-alcoholic beer, they were like, what the fuck is going on? And when I told Teddy that I wasn't drinking, he was not happy. He was like, you son of a bitch. You just fucking cost me money. Hey, guys, I'm practicing sobriety. Fuck you. Couldn't have told me this before. You just cost me $5. It's like betting on a team and finding out that one of their star players is injured. I know that when he was doing his mental math as to whether we could finish a keg or not, he was like, well, he's good for like 10, 15 cups, maybe. I had one. I promise you, if you would have told Teddy before, if you would have told my friend before the bet that Will's not drinking, he'd be like, absolutely not. I am out. I am not betting on that keg finishing. You're taking out an MVP caliber drinker. It's not a fair bet. You take me off the drinking squad, the odds on FanDuel, they plummet. Okay? I am the line in Vegas, all right? If I'm drinking, it's game on. Game on. So Teddy lost $5 and he blames it on me. God, speaking of Teddy, at one point, my friend, I don't know, my friend, he's like, he offers me a drink. He's like, oh shit, I forgot, my bad. And he goes, oh, it's not. I'm not gonna be like that scene in Ace Ventura and chloroform you. And I was like, what? I had seen Ace Ventura, but I was so confused, like what he was talking about. And he was like, oh, you don't remember the scene? And he pulls out his phone, and he finds the scene in Ace Ventura where Ace chloroforms a football player or something like that. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I remember that scene. What does that have to do with anything? He's like, well, I'm saying I'm not going to chloroform you and like force you to drink. I don't know. It made sense to me. And I was like, okay. And 5 minutes later at this tailgate, remember, it's Halloween. I swear, 5 minutes after my friend shows me a video of Ace Ventura, I see in the distance, in the parking lot, this girl dressed up as Ace Ventura. She was wearing the tutu with the, like, her hair was crazy. She had like a Dolphins jersey and then the button up over it, and it like just looked exactly like Ace Ventura. And I was like, the timing of that is hilarious. And so I see her and I start yelling to my friend. I'm like, Teddy, 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 Teddy. This motherfucker is just ignoring me. Like, just not looking at me at all. And I'm like, I know he hears me. Every other friend of mine in this tailgate is hearing me, but you're not. And she's walking up to our group at the tailgate. She's holding some Jello shots, like 6 Jello shots in her hands, right? And I'm like, Daddy, Daddy. Like, it's the timing of that is crazy. Nothing. He looks right at her and she's like, do you guys want these Jello shots? We've had too many and like, we can't finish it. Again, if I was drinking, I'd be like right in there, but I was like hanging back like, no, I'm good. And he's like, oh yeah, like, sure. Yeah, well, I'll take these Jello shots. Yeah, yeah. And like, and he's not clocking it at all. I'm like, Daddy, Daddy, look at what she's wearing. Nothing. He's just, yeah, thanks. All right, yeah, Jello shots, yay. And then he's like, hey, wait a second. Is that a Dolphins jersey? The Jets are playing the Texans. Why are you even? And then he like notices her hair and his eyes, like a twinkle in his eyes start. Then he looks down and sees the tutu and he goes, oh shit. And then he goes, Will. And at that point I was like, shut the fuck up. Don't you will me. No. Yeah, I've been yelling your name for like an hour trying to tell you this. Get there faster, okay? You know that Friends freaking scene where it takes Joey a damn near 5 minutes to put something together, and Matthew Perry, God rest his soul, is so frustrated with Jerry that he's just like, get there faster. That was me and freaking Teddy. I'm like yelling at him, Teddy, nothing. 5 minutes later, he finally notices, and he has the gall to be like, Will, fuck you. You don't get to be excited now. He's like, look, I'm like, I know. That's what I was trying to tell you. He's like, oh, I thought you were trying to tell me about the Jello shots. So you fucking still ignore me? Like, freaking God. I didn't even mean to bring up that story, but Jesus. Just had to get that off my chest. Freaking trying to tell me she's dressed up like Ace Ventura. I know she is, okay? I knew it before anybody. Anyways, I didn't drink. I had one beer. I cost Teddy $5 and then he ignored me as a result. That's how my sobriety is going. Jet game was fun, though. Had a good time. But I will say this, and I don't know if this is a bad thing to say, but I'm going to say it. You know those people that quit drinking and then they go to like a concert or they go to a football game or they go, they hang out with their friends and they're like, I learned that you don't have to drink to have fun. And let me just tell you, yeah, you do. At least I think I do. Because there were definitely moments at that tailgate and at that game where I'm like, this is all right, I guess. But I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that if I was drinking, if I was helping if I was helping with that keg, if I was pounding beers, and if I was taking shots of tequila, dude, I brought a bottle of tequila, and it's gone now. I didn't have a sip of it. If I was drinking tequila and pounding beers, I'm pretty damn sure I would have had way more fun at that tailgate, at that game afterwards. It's sorry, not sorry. I don't know. That's just, I know me. There ain't much I know in this world, but I do know one thing. I know me, and I know me likes drinking. Or at least I like drunk. I don't like a lot of things that go around it, but like some of my most funnest memories involve alcohol or drugs or whatever. Yeah, I did smoke joint. I smoked 3 joints while I was at this tailgate. But yeah, I saw like other people like getting like wild and getting loud, and me, I'm just like sitting there like watching the Jet game, going, man, I really wish I had a cup of coffee right now. That's not fun. Like, I enjoyed myself, but I know I would have had more fun if I was drinking. That's just, look, I'm allowed to say that. I had 1 beer. I didn't get drunk, but I think I would have had more fun if I did. Well, it's just a reality that I have to deal with now. It's my new reality, all right? So, if you're the type of person that can go to a concert and be like, I don't need to drink to have fun, good for you. You're lucky. Me, I kind of like the drinking. Now, I still haven't had, it's not like I'm off the wagon again. It's just a truth that I'm acknowledging, all right? And we'll see how that goes. Just felt like I had to say that, Before I go, there is something, I do have a story to tell you guys that has nothing to do with any of this, but it's, I think a pretty good story. So why not? I mean, the moment after it happened to me, my coworkers were like, well, at least it's content for the podcast, which, by the way, just because I have a podcast doesn't mean that it's good when bad stuff happens to me. Okay. Like, why do you guys, it's not the first time that that's happened to me. Something bad will happen to me and somebody else will be like, well, at least now you have something to talk about on the podcast. Like, I would rather not you have the bad thing happen to me in the first place, okay? It's not like if I get punched in the face, the first thing I think about is, well, that's a clip. No. If I get hit by a car, I'm not going to be like, man, that reel's really going to get a lot of views. What the hell? So let me just tell you the story then. Last Sunday night, it was the weekend of after Halloween. So the Halloween was the 31st, a Thursday. No, excuse me. It was the weekend before. So if Halloween was the 31st, a Thursday, the Sunday prior to that, I'm working at the Olive Tree Cafe. The night is done essentially. All the customers are gone from the cafe, at least upstairs above. It's just staff and like a comedian or two, because the Comedy Cellar right below us, which we are connected with, was still they were still in their last show. The last show was still going on downstairs. So the host is coming up and down from the cafe to the cellar downstairs. So he was around, but we were basically cleaning up the cafe. The night was done, and one of my coworkers near the front is going, "Oh shit! Oh damn!" And I don't know why, but I knew the moment that he was like, "Oh shit!" Oh, I knew he's watching a fight. That's just, for some reason, the moment a fight breaks out, like, that's everyone's reaction is, oh, shit. Okay. It's like we can't formulate the right words fast enough to be like, a fight breaks out and no one's like, hey, look, a fight, let's watch it. No, it's just like, oh, shit, oh, damn. Because it's almost, you always have this moment where like, is that really happening? It is. Okay, I'm going to watch. So, and by the way, if I hear that there's a fight happening, you best believe I want to see that. I don't know why. Man, but I want to see the fight. I want to see it from a safe distance, but I want to see it. So we have like these big double glass windows or whatever, so I could clearly see the fight happening right in front of me. And then I hear, it's on the street, not in the cafe. It's happening on the sidewalk, and I could hear one of my coworkers, essentially, one of like the doormen or the hosts, from the outside, at one point he says, "Oh, he was in the show." So someone that was watching the last show of the night downstairs, he went out for a cigarette break, and one thing led to another. I have no idea why, but someone just kind of started attacking him, and they got into a fight right in the front. Once the fight kind of broke up, the customer went. We told our customer, get back inside the cellar, and we essentially didn't let anyone else out until we cleared the area or whatever. But this guy that was that basically assaulted one of our customers. He was like this, not a big guy at all, but so angry, so incensed. He was just going up and down the sidewalk. At one point, he went to his car and came back, and we all know what that means. It's like he went to go get a weapon, or at least pretend like he went to go get a weapon. So him and his friend came back at this point, and now they're openly talking about, they're yelling that they're threatening to stab the entire staff, the security guard, the customer, the managers. He's looking at me at this point. He's using the word poke. I'm a poke. Everyone's gonna get poked. Poke. By the way, the lamest like slang for stab ever. Poke. What poke? You remember in Facebook when you would get poked? Like, what the hell? What am I? Am I the Pillsbury Doughboy? You're going to poke my belly? Can we come up with better slang for stabbing somebody? I mean, Jesus, just say stab. All right. Slice, whatever. Man, poke. I'm finna poke you. What the hell? Fucking loser. Anyways, once he started like threatening to stab our staff or whatever, I don't know like why, but I that's when I was like, man, I'm gonna record this fucking fool. And so I take my phone out to record him, and he did not like that at all. He came right up. I'm on the steps. I'm not on the sidewalk. I'm on the steps. This dude walked around my security guard, walked right up the steps while like yelling like, why are you recording me, bro? Why are you recording me? And then he smacks the phone out of my hand. It like slams against the wall. He picks it up off the ground and he smashes it down onto like the sidewalk. And my phone I just hear it like crackle, disintegrate or whatever. And he walks back down the stairs. He doesn't hit me. He never hit me. He hit the shit out of my phone, but he never hit me. I'm not going to lie here and be like, he attacked me. Well, I don't know. I guess he attacked me kind of. I was attacked at the cellar. He kind of attacked me. Yeah, sure. But he hit the phone. He didn't hit me. I'm not going to like play the victim here or whatever. He smashes the phone on the ground. And, man, I know, like, I wish that like I responded to that by like punching him in the face or knocking him out or whatever? Yeah, I guess part of me does, so that I could have a cooler story. But also, like, I just spent an entire hour talking about how I get anxiety from drinking and from performing on stage. I can't imagine the anxiety I would have felt if I got into an altercation, a fight at work, no less. So I I was actually very calm in the moment. I swear I feel like I was kind of smirking because I couldn't really believe what was going on. But I didn't really feel that threatened. Maybe because I just did not really think that guy was going to hit me. I don't know. He got right in my face. I mean, there's video of him. Unfortunately, the phone cut off like right before he smacked it. But you can clearly see him walking right up to me and angrily asking me why I'm recording, bro. And everyone wants to do something or say something cool whenever they're in an altercation. I did not. After he smashed my phone into the ground, he went back to the sidewalk and started pacing up and down the sidewalk. And he was just, when someone's mad and they just keep yelling the same thing over and over again, no matter how you respond. He was like, "Why the fuck you recording me, bro? Huh? That's what happens. That's what happens. Why you recording me? Why you recording me? Huh? Well, that's what happens." And I swear to you, my response was the lamest response I could have ever come up with. But I'm just going to be honest. I could lie and make myself sound cool on my show. But man, I got to keep it real. After this guy smashed my phone to the ground and kept yelling out, "Why are you recording me, bro? Why are you recording me?" My response was, "Because you're a criminal and you're committing crimes." "Because you're a criminal," I said. I turned into a white woman from the suburbs. Towards at the end of the night, my coworker, there's basically like three of us that saw everything happen. So all of our coworkers that were working in the cellar, they were all asking us at the end of the night, "What the hell happened? What happened? What happened?" And at one point, my coworker goes, "My favorite part was after Will's phone got smashed and he's asked why he recorded. Will's response was, 'Because you're a criminal.'" And everyone laughed and laughed. Because you're a criminal. That's me. That's, how everyone's the star of their own movie. That's my big line in the dramatic conflict scene of my movie. Because, "Why are you recording me, bro?" "Because you're a criminal." He smashes my phone in the ground. And when he demands to know why I'm recording him, my response is, "Because you're a criminal and I must document this for the proper authorities." Oh, Jesus. That's me. And I did. I mean, the cop, the staff, the manager called the cops. Cops asked me what was up. And here's the thing, by the way, I am recording this video right now on the very phone that guy smashed. Because you know what? Still works, motherfucker. He couldn't even break it. The back of it, it's all cracked up and smashed. But the video, the cameras work fine. The video works fine. My texting works fine. The front of my phone is not a scratch on it. No breaks in my screen, just the back. I can still text. I can still call. I can still hear. I can still listen to podcasts. I can still record podcasts. I can still record videos. You didn't break the phone. Well, at least not completely. I'm still standing. Of course, my response to getting into an altercation is to sing an Elton John song. I'm still standing. So yeah, that happened at work. That's my getting attacked at the Comedy Cellar story, guys. Should I name the episode "Attacked at the Cellar"? Talk about clickbait. Oh man, yeah, that happened to me. Oh, this is how little I get no respect. No respect, I tell you. I have a coworker who's like a child. She's 19. And she wasn't there that day. So she didn't see anything happen. Next time I come to work, she's heard the story, you know? And she comes up to me at work with the biggest smile I've ever seen her have. And through this freaking grin, she goes, "Hey, Will, I heard your phone got smashed. Can I see it?" The joy it brought her. The joy. A 19-year-old full of joy that someone smashed my phone at work. What is going on? And like an idiot, I take it out like, yeah, here, look. I got disrespected and I didn't do anything about it. Because that's me. I feel like the Curb Your Enthusiasm song should have like played the moment I said, "Why you recording me, bro? Because you're a criminal?" That's how the episode's gonna end. That's me. I don't think I got anything more after that. Ain't gonna top that story on this episode. So how about we just wrap that shit up? But before we do me a favor. I'm gonna say it one more time. Show me some love. Show me some support. You know, because my coworkers don't, my attackers don't, and my anxiety doesn't. So somebody has to. Can it be you? Maybe. Please. Love, support, follow, like, review, subscribe, whatever it is, on any platform. Do it because it's the same on all platforms. It's I'm Will Bryant. 3 words. I'm Will Bryant. Bryant. Like Kobe. Yeah. And other than that, guys, please, I don't know, I'd say be kind to each other or something, but, you know, that ain't gonna happen. So just, you know, let's go Mets. I don't know. Yeah, right. Oh, I guess by the time this comes out, we might have a new president. Well, we will have a new president. God help us. I was gonna talk about that.